Welcome to another edition of How to Fix It Yourself with Dave and Dave. Today we're working on a 216 Rogue. It's the S model, so it's the base model. And this particular episode we're going to show you how to replace the engine filter. It's not a complicated job, it's fairly straightforward. There's a couple of points we'll make, but this is a job that anyone can do. Now I know that they have change intervals that they put in the manuals, you know, the service manuals and the owner's manuals. But what you really want to do is just, if it's been a while, go ahead and change it out. It's not that much money and it makes your engine run a lot better. And if you do happen to start getting it clogged up, it's going to restrict the air, which is going to change the air fuel mixture, which can result in a variety of other issues with your engine. So it's just good preventative maintenance to go ahead and change out your filter if you're doing any other work on the engine at all. We're going to be doing some other work on this engine in other episodes, but that's one of the reasons we're going to go ahead and change out this air filter. All right, in order to get to the air filter, which is back here under this, you need to remove this ducting right here. Now, last time I had this done, I had it done at the dealer because I had some other things that were being done that I didn't want to do. But this is a typical problem you'll have at a dealer and most likely any other service shop you go to. They tend to get cheap. So this grommet that goes in this hole right there was totally missing. So this thing is just sitting there wiggling like crazy, and that's not good, so we'll replace that. These two are broken, even though there's no reason for these to have ever come out. And so they were broken, and so this piece was rattling as well. So we'll replace these and we'll put that one in. So just to get started now, there's this one bolt here. It's a Phillips that needs to be pulled. So we'll go ahead and pull that right now. And another dealer deal. They tend to get young kids doing stuff like this that are just being trained, and they tend to think that they have to over tighten everything. So we get that out, and then you remove there's a hook clip here. You need to pull it forward and up, and that just lifts that entire segment out. Now if you look in there, you can see that even though I paid them to replace the filter some time ago, it doesn't look like they ever did replace it. Looks like they charged me and didn't replace it. So this grommet here has been out for quite a while because I haven't ever changed out the air filter. With the mileage on this, I've gone ahead and let the extended warranty take care of that. So if you don't want to take apart the whole thing, which is only one screw, and I do recommend you'll go ahead and take the whole thing out, you can press these clips and try and wiggle this off of there without removing this bolt. I tend to find that gets to be very difficult because of the way these clips don't actually release down here. You have to get your fingers underneath it. But this piece does come out, and it can make life a little easier if you can get it off. But I find it's just easier to take the whole thing off and just remove that one screw. It's an easy thing to do. To get at the filter itself, there's just two spring clips. There's this one you can see right here. There's one you really can't see that's just on the top back side. Just get a flathead screwdriver. They have a thumb pop on the back, but I find just getting a screwdriver in there works a lot better than trying to dig your finger back in here and try and pop it that way. So I just usually use a screwdriver. That's all the farther you have to take that apart. From there you can just pull it out. And this has been in there a long time. And so I'm gonna have to go take a look at my invoices and see when the last time they claimed that they cleaned this, but it's been a long time. So this is the filter we're putting in. Now you can get aftermarket filters, but on some things they're just as cheap to go ahead and do the factory filter as it is to do the aftermarket filter. And some factory filters are treated special I know Nissan on the Pathfinders, they put a special coating on this. And it's not just the oil coating you'll hear about, this some other coating. Now you'll notice that this one also has a black mark up here, and the bottom is different than the top. So you want to look for this tab, and that's the part that goes up on top. So you just slide it in there, put the case back together again, put the clips back on, and then you can put the rest of the ducting on. All right, then you just drop your ducting back in. You've got some guides here that it needs to kind of slide around, and make sure you get it hooked properly up there on the top. Then we'll put our screw back in, and then we'll get the body clips back in here, here, and here. So on the body clips, there's a lot of different styles and kind. Unless you're really familiar with body clips, you ought to use the factory one. I happen to know that this aftermarket one works very well. In the Nissan, you'll notice it has some indents, so it's easy to grab the top. Just for your ease, for removing it again in the future, you may want to be sure you get the edges aligned so as that you can be sure and make it easy to get your tool on there to pop it up. And then after you get it in, you need to just pop it down. It has to break some plastic parts, so usually you have to get a little bit of effort on it and pop that down. And now you've got a nice solid piece here all the way around, and it's not going to wiggle or wander around like the way it was done. We're going to go ahead and replace these two. We don't need to do that on camera, but again, check your parts, make sure that they're all solid. It looks like we have one over here that's broken as well. So we'll get all these replaced and we'll be done with it. So I hope this has been helpful for replacing your air filter. It's not a difficult process. There's just a few little tweaks that we've pointed out that'll make it a little easier for you. You're better off replacing it more often than not. And so I recommend that you go ahead and get your air filter put in and make sure it's in good condition. Thank you for watching this. Be sure and hit the like button and the subscribe button, and the tools and parts will be in the description below. Thank you very much.